Again, let's go to Umlazi, eThekwini now, where flood victims say they're fed up with government's empty promises. They've been living in community halls for 5 months now and fear that this will become a permanent solution or situation for them. The residents were displaced by the floods in April this year. 461 people lost their lives in that disaster and millions of rands of damage was caused to various infrastructure. Well, Lethiwe Mdluli is on the ground, Umlazi this hour, joining us now here on Today. Good afternoon, Lethiwe, and welcome to the program. Thank you very much for your time. So what's happening there? What is the latest that the people there are saying, and what are they planning to do?
Well, Braden, at the moment, we are waiting for the media briefing to begin shortly. But what we do know is that many of these flood victims are saying that they are very, very tired of government's empty promises. They are saying that they've been living in shelters for over 5 months now without a clear plan as to what is going to happen. When will they be moved? Will they be provided with proper housing? On Sunday, we actually were with the Premier of KZN, where she was going around inspecting buildings in Durban, where they are trying to acquire some of those buildings in order to house some of the sheltered flood victims at the moment. But victims are saying that they are not buying what the government is saying and they are tired of empty promises. Right now, we are actually in Umlazi village. I want to show you the amount of flood victims that have come out to speak and just share their frustrations with what is currently happening. These victims were left homeless in April during those floods. You'd remember that over 6,000 people in the province are currently homeless due to the floods. And some of those people have found shelter here in Umlazi village. It's not a place that is safe for children and women. And right now, actually, Braden, I want to take you to Usiskuku Keswa, who's actually a part of an organization that has been helping flood victims. She is representing Umsinsi movement. Siskuku, thank you so much for joining us at eNCA. Take us through what you are doing here. What can we expect from this briefing that you're going to hold with the flood victims?
Thank you so much for the time. The problem here, we are surprised to actually hear from Nomusa Dube, the Premier, what she has stated on Sunday, that she has rescued people, that she will make sure that everyone that actually lost their houses, they'll be put in a proper place. She's been saying that for the past months now. She has actually asked us to give her out for 2 weeks probation to actually sort this out, but she hasn't done anything about that. That 2 weeks has actually gone past by. It's already like the second month now after she has asked us to give her the 2 weeks. And the sad part is that today is the last day of the Women's Month, and we are here with these women, the South African native women and children that Nomusa Dube claims to have rescued. These people were actually rescued by Umsinsi, and they were kicked out of the Transnet, and they claim that they're having negotiations with Transnet. The question that we're asking is that what are they doing, because they are the women, and everybody's excited that now we have a female premier. But for us, it doesn't look like we have a female premier. We're not celebrating anything because it seems that you still have a male figure that is running the KZN, because she actually doesn't feel anything. She's not actually sensitive about the situation that is happening to the people that are actually flood victims. So what we need to hear from them, when are they taking these people out of this misery? When are they putting them into proper houses? According to what she actually said on her own, is that they are going to put them in temporary houses, and up until now they haven't put them in temporary houses. The Transnet building is actually like a dormitory. You can't say you've rescued people if you're saying you're going to be putting them there. We did that as Umsinsi because we wanted them at least to get the privacy. And right now they're not even coming to these areas to actually address the people that were kicked out by the sheriff at the Mdluli Lodge. So the question is, when are they coming to part? When are they stopping to negotiating things in all the stories that they're negotiating in the hotels, and start coming to the people that actually have the issue, that have the problem, that are facing the problem of kids being raped, women being afraid to take bath in front of men each time they have to take off their clothes. There's actually a man that is staring at them. No, Musa, we need to know, when are you coming to your senses and thinking about the people of South Africa, especially the women and children? Because we know you have a comfort home, but these people are struggling here.
Siskoko, we were actually with the Premier on Sunday, and she was inspecting buildings across Durban. One of those buildings that they were inspecting was the Transnet building in Mdluli that the flood victims invaded back in July. Are you seeing a way forward? Do you believe that they are going to acquire those buildings, because they are saying that they are in the process of buying them so that they can give shelter to these victims?
I will only believe when that's happened. We don't trust them, because they always keep promises, they don't act. Until they start acting, until they deliver what they've promised people, that they're going to give them temporary houses, then that's when that will be the only time that you can trust what they are saying is true.
And in terms of these victims, where are they living? Is there a community hall here? Because I'm only seeing informal settlements.
There's a hall, there is hall that we've explained before, that hall is damaged, doesn't have electricity, there's sewage that's actually broken, that they have to clean every day. We've explained that before. They are staying, part of them, they're staying there. Part of them, of the people are actually staying in this area that Mr. Ramaphosa initially said in 2019, people shouldn't stay here. If you can look around, you'll see the kind of life that they're living in this area. Is this the South Africa that we chose and we voted for people to help people to actually let people live in the area, like in areas like this?
Thank you so much, sis.
Thank you so much.
So, Praten, those are some of the complaints and also the demands from the Umsintsi government, or the Umsintsi movement rather. They are saying that they need plans, and they want the Premier to account for these people because they are tired of empty promises. Right now we are going to be hearing from them. There's a media briefing that we're going to be listening into, and hear some of the victims themselves on what they have to say about the living conditions that they're under and where they have been placed.
Okay, thank you very much, Lethiwe Mdluli. We'll have to await the outcome of that media briefing, but one can hear the sense of frustration from that leader from Umsintsi movement that's put together these women today, being 31st of August. They're making the point that the majority of the people who are still homeless, having suffered from, lost their homes rather, from those floods in April in KwaZulu-Natal, are women. And today, being 31st August, the last day of Women's Month, they would have expected better from the new Premier of KwaZulu-Natal, who herself is a woman. We'll have to wait and see what else comes out of that briefing shortly. Now, there's no